There we go. We're fucking live. First thing I say, swear immediately. Damn it. What do you like my hat?
I love it, dude. I missed
Right?
out on it. I tried and I
There
couldn't
was
get it.
they closed up shop on it so fast. When they were
Yeah.
like, "Oh yeah, pre-order." They were like, "Nope, you got like 48 hours." It was crazy.
Yep.
So I'm like, "Oh yeah, what should I do?" Cuz it's freezing down here. Like it is so cold in the disco dungeon.
Oh.
What?
No, I was saying
Oh,
to
all
that. I was reading a Bogley just texted me as well. He wants me
Oh.
to grab him some Fisher Dye stuff while I'm down there.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I slept I came down here and I was like, it is fucking cold. I'm like, I'm throwing a hoodie on. We'll get a hat.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got Dave Rowley in here. Says, hey, what y'all doing?
What's
Getting
up,
ready
Dave?
to about record this fine program for you guys. We got a couple of jig heads in the house. Of course, we are going live on all the platforms tonight just because we're doing, just want to give you guys a little heads up. We're doing a little AMA just for fun. You know, we'll throw that in our second segment of the show. So if you have any questions you want us to address, or whether they're questions for Joe, questions for me, questions for the both of us, but I will say this, pretty much anything is on the table. I'm diving again into the Four Roses, so I might be a wide open book. You know,
I'm not going to tell you my address.
Yeah, no, that shit's not happening. Definitely not.
Although half those people in there probably already know where I live.
Before we start the show, I got to give a shout out to my wife.
Okay.
I just got done eating the most amazing pot roast dinner. Are you a pot roast guy, Joe?
Fuck yeah, I am.
Oh my God. She, like, when she measures out the garlic when it goes into the crock pot, it's by the bulb. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So this house has smelled so good all fucking day.
I love garlic, dude.
Dude, oh my God. I'm thinking I might make a pot roast the next time I camp this winter.
Yeah.
You
Did
know?
she do it in the crock pot, or did she do
did
it
in the
like
crock
in
pot?
Yep.
Yeah. And
Dude,
it was
I
just,
love the crock pot.
it's a home run all the time.
Fuck, what did I make? Actually, I actually meant to tell you this, but I think it was the week you were down there and I wasn't on. Minestrone soup I made in the crock pot.
Yes.
Bro.
Yes.
It was so good.
Oh my God, we're letting everybody in here to look at this. The one and
Look at
only
that guy.
John Scungio. How we doing, homie? Now, I'll tell you, we'll talk about the show in a bit. It was an interesting week. We got fishy shit to talk about tonight, guys. I've had Mondays available now for quite a while, and it's about time we do a show recording on them. So
we have a surprise for everybody. We do. Little change in plans, Bobby.
Oh, definitely changing plans for sure.
Little change in plans. Yeah,
some of you guys might not know. Mackenzie Kiefer, how we doing? Welcome. Oh, all right. Let's go ahead and we'll do this. We'll get into the show. Before I start the intro, I just want to give you guys a little bit of a heads up. We are doing a little bit of an AMA tonight. So go ahead and just in the comments, whether you're on Facebook, whether you're on YouTube, go ahead and ask any kind of questions. We're glad to kind of, pretty much most anything is up for discussion. Most anything, we're not going to get too into any kind of ridiculous details. I'm not blowing up any spots. Not that I have any juice to blow up, but it is what it is. John, I love this hat. Yeah, right. I almost wore it to the expo, but I was like, I really kind of have to go branded for this because most folks are going to be like, who's that fat guy in that boat? And even with it, they still did.
Actually, I got kind of an OG hat on here. Hold on, ready?
Oh, yeah. An OG hat. What is this? Oh, that is a classic right there.
That's a classic.
Yes, that is a classic. Oh, that's one of my favorites. That's one of my favorite lucky hats from Hooks at Hoodlums.
Yeah. It's like my third one, dude. I've lost 2 on the boat.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually have a spare upstairs still.
Before I do the intro, I'm going to save that one to throw on after we do the intro. That is fucking fantastic. I'm a fan. We're gonna talk about that too.
So let's talk about it because I have a funny story as to why I'm doing this.
All right. Well, I got the intro. No, don't open that. I got the intro already queued up and ready to rock. We've got headlines tonight, right, Joe?
Oh yeah, we sure do.
Fishing
Some
headlines.
local
open.
stuff.
I love that. I love the local stuff. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and hit the record button here so we can get this show done for you. For those of you that aren't current jig heads, you're getting a free peek inside what it's like to be a jig head. This is how the show gets made. And every once in a while, sometimes Bobby messes up and doesn't hit the record button. Tonight is not one of those nights, though. We got it. So we're going to go ahead and we'll get this started. We are recording in 3, 2. Bobby Roast Beef here, Jigs and Bigs podcast. We have one hell of a show for you. First off, guys, we got Drew Gregory in the house. You know Drew. He's just hot off of an amazing Bassmaster Kayak Series tournament, taking home a win, and we talk a little bit about that. We also talk a whole lot about the Kayak Adventure Series. Kayak Adventure Series for 2025 is amazing. You're going to love it. There's some rule changes that I think are absolutely amazing. Plus, we got all kinds of other details to talk about it. I'm looking at hitting a couple of these up. It should be a blast. It's Expo season. It's in full swing. The New England Fishing Expo just got wrapped up. We'll have a look back at what was going on there. Columbus is next on tap, and there's been a change in plans that we needed to discuss. We're doing a little bit of an AMA here, where this show is being broadcast on all of our platforms where we do our live content. We're talking about Facebook and all on YouTube. So if you've got any questions for the Jigs and Bigs crew, go ahead and throw them in the chat right now so that we can get back to you, and we'll answer those questions. It's coming up on our second segment. Folks, don't go too far. We have much more good stuff lined up for you. Jigs and Bigs goodness coming. Grab yourself a tasty beverage, and we will be back with more good times right after this. It's Monday. This is how most podcasts, they get recorded on a weekday like this in the evening, and I'll tell you, it feels right. You know,
it does.
It feels right. I know you had a busy weekend, Joe. You had to work today and everything else.
Yeah, busy weekend. Busy weekend. I hear ya. I didn't get to go out to the expo, which really bummed me out because I tried, man. I tried to finagle some crap, but it just didn't happen. But
I will tell you that you probably saved yourself a good chunk of change by not going. There was so much, and I was so dedicated to what I was doing there. I didn't do any shopping at all.
Yeah,
which is probably for the best, to be perfectly honest. It really is. I'll tell you though, Dan puts together a fantastic show. I mean, that New England show is absolutely awesome. So another round of applause to everybody everybody involved with organizing, promoting, everything else. Plus, the fishing community always shows up. It was so busy. I was only there on Saturday, but I was there Saturday just after they opened to the general public, and until closing. And man, it was so freaking good. It was so good. Had a blast. I there was, of course, with Hanks Marine, and not too far from us was JCS Marine right behind. So we had some of the best looking boats around on display right in our little earshot over there. And it was a good time, man. I had myself a blast. So there is fishy shit to talk about this week. There absolutely is.
Yep.
Why don't we dive into this? Before I do that, I want to remind everybody again, we are recording this on a Monday evening. I'm going to be editing and turning it right around. So we decided we would go live on all the platforms that we typically offer live streams on, that engage with the StreamYard product that we utilize. So if you guys want to ask us questions, be them fishing related, podcast related, plans for upcoming stuff, like we would love to talk to you guys about that. So go ahead and in the chat, whether you're on Facebook or you're on Instagram, go ahead and leave a question in there. In our second segment, we're going to go back and through here and answer any of those that come up. So you got some time, go ahead and think about it. And if you have something that you've always wanted to ask, who the fuck is Joe Brown or Bobby Roast Beef, this is your opportunity. So go ahead and do that. I want to say, when I say fishy shit went down, let's start with this one because there's sort of a little bit of a surprise here. I had this week, I'd been putting this off a little bit, and I don't really know why. I really should have just taken the dive in, like I said, once we turned the corner of the new year. But ladies and gentlemen, at least the beginning tournaments for the 2025 season for Jigs and Bigs tournament series, they're up and live on Fishing Chaos. So we've got the first couple of months of the multi-species scavenger hunt. And now that they're set and ready to go, I'm going to go and do the rest of the year. But the ones that are important are April and May. And those are huge. So April kicks off the multi-species scavenger hunt. That is live. And I put together some promotional stuff that you'll see on the YouTube channel, on my videos. Kind of, I'm a little impressed with how this came out. It's really, really good. So the scavenger hunt is coming back. It's the same $30 buy-in that it was before. The same list of 22 species that we have before, though we may mid-season throw in a wild card. I just want to go and kind of verify, because I did a little bit of looking at what we've got on that list. And I still believe it's pretty tight as it is. I really do. We may add some more as we go through, but like starting off, we're back in on it. So what this is all about is the multi-species scavenger hunt we've been doing now for going on over four years. And we're going on 5 years now. And it all started way back in the day with a little organization called what the fuck are they called? What was the group that started when it was on Fish Donkey? And then Sean sort of took over.
Oh.
You know what I'm thinking of. And I'm having a total brain fart here. It'll come to me.
I only lost it because you didn't have it.
I did say it was like Canna something.
Chronic Trips.
Chronic Trips. That's what
Chronic
it was.
Trips.
Chronic Trips. And it was during the pandemic, and they started this thing, and we're like, holy crap, online, and Sean was familiar with online tournaments and everything. But we created something that was really unique to Jigs and Bigs, and it was that scavenger hunt, multi-species scavenger hunt style.
Right.
And it's modified. It's been changed over time, and I think we got it dialed pretty good. It's a whole lot of fun. So April and May are both up. You can't register for the May one yet. We wanted obviously be able to register for the April one. Right. But April has traditionally been one of the best months for competition for everything scavenger hunt related. It's just amazing. May is not too far behind that. Like May is like right there as well. So that's live. What else is live? Every month we're doing a slot limit tournament. There's something else happening in April. April the 19th, we have the first monthly Jigs and Bigs Bass Slot Limit Tournament happening. So you can go ahead and registration for that is live. You can go ahead and sign up for that. That is the same deal. It's a $30 buy-in right there, and it's a slot limit tournament where any black bass species count as long as they're within the slot limit. And the slot limit is 12 to 17 inches. And we do this so that somebody that's in like Maine, Pennsylvania, Minnesota, or Idaho can compete with somebody in Texas or Florida or California or Louisiana. So it evens things up. Binya asked, he was like, oh, not 420? No, not 420. The 19th, because I wanted to do this on a Saturday, and 420 is Easter Sunday. I'm not fucking up anybody's holiday. So we're going to go with the 19th. Plus, as it would just happen to turn out, Todd Sefton says he'll be signing up. He definitely will, because Todd, you and I are going to be together on St. Clair that weekend. So in absolute perfect Bobby roast beef fashion, Bobby, which is again, decides to hold a tournament when he's going to a lake where he has never fished before. And we've seen how this works out. It's not always great, but it is fun. And that's what I'm there for. Right. So we would love to have you guys join in, whether you want to stick to, a bass format, and strictly target bass. We've got something for you every single month. Now, granted, that bass slot limit tournament is one day. The scavenger hunt, because of the nature of it, is the entire month. So you just go and fish how you're going to fish and enter these fish, all the rules and everything. They're on Fishing Chaos. Go ahead and check that out. Binya here letting everybody know. He's like, yeah, that worked out great at UGUP. You're not wrong, my friend. You are not wrong right there at all. But again, it can only get better, right? It can only get better than that last time. I say that. Something bad's going to happen. But either way, it'll be a good time. We're going to have ourselves a blast. So that's on April 19th. The other thing is this. Some new shit has come to light. In May, we have the first ever open, the first ever Jigs and Bigs multi-species scavenger hunt open. So for the scavenger hunt series, this is a 7-day window where you can go ahead and enter the tournament, and it's a little bit higher stakes. Let's go ahead and look at all this. The Open Series, it runs between May the 12th. That's when the tournament starts, and it ends on the 18th. So it goes Monday to Sunday. It's a 7-day window, and you can double dip. You can be in the Open and the regular monthly. In fact, I'd recommend it. If you're one of these folks that does the online tournaments a lot, that's a great way to kind of get it all in right there. The May Open is how you enter the championship. So we'll have one that will be in May, and then we'll have another one in October. This is a $50 buy-in. It's to make it a little bit more worthwhile as far as the prize goes. You know, the winnings that you could win. We're hoping to have a bunch of people line up, but if you've entered any of the opens, you'll be eligible for the championship. So you can then enter the championship. Now, the championship will have a higher tier. Championship's insane. It's not till 2026, but it will be a $100 buy-in. It's going to be a 48-hour window scavenger hunt. Like, that's going to be clear your weekend and get ready to go hard. As many different species as you can catch. It's going to be awesome. So that's all there. It's all live for you guys to check out on Fishing Chaos right now. I am going to have links over in the Jigs and Bigs link tree on Instagram. That'll be coming up soon. And I'm revamping the tournament page at jigsandbigs.com. So all that information will be there. But I'm going to link all of that info in the notes to this podcast. Every single one of those tournaments for the months of April and May, they're going to be listed right here, so you guys can go ahead and join the standard scavenger hunt series, the slot limit tournament, or the open. So you can go ahead and jump on. John Hagens jumps in here, says probably going to do the first slot tourney in April, but definitely doing the May Open for sure. Yeah, and actually we should mention John Hagens had sent me a message right before we had started, and he is out at the water. Actually, he is fishing right now, watching on his mobile device, and I'm not jealous. I'm not jealous at all. Not jealous one bit. Not at all, John. But you know, what also is nice is I'm going to get to see John Hagens again, because with a little interesting twist of fate, your boy Bobby Roastbeef is going to actually be at the Columbus Fishing Expo. It's a real thing. Last week was weird for me, Joe. It was bananas. I started my week, and I got an email from a client of mine. Now, this is a nonprofit, and I've done their fundraiser for the last 2 straight years, and it's been a sellout every single time. It's been amazing. This year, they changed the date. Normally, it's the weekend following the weekend of the Columbus Expo.
Okay.
This year, they bumped it up a week, so it's Super Bowl weekend. You know, I didn't realize that the dates crossed over initially, so I had to reach out to Zach. You guys know this story, and I had told him I had to pull out from the Columbus trip because of my own mistake with this event. Well, the organizer of this event had reached out to me Monday or Tuesday morning and was like, "Hey, I just want to give you a heads up that we have to cancel our event on Saturday the 8th." And I was like, "Shit. Are you serious? Really? What happened?" She explained to me what happened. I think a lot of it probably has to do with the date change. There were multiple venue changes. There's a lot of different kind of stuff. Been here right there with the comedic effort. Hey, yo. And he, and so she explained it to me, the whole situation. I was like, you got to be kidding me. The first text message I made was to that group chat we have with the Dark Horse boys. It's in my phone, is Dark Horse, DHT and J&B collabs. And I said, hey boys, I will be in Columbus for this expo. And they were like, shut the fuck up, really? So I cleared my calendar. I canceled 1, 2, 3 trivia nights, and 3 or 4, 3. And I was like, yep, I'm going for the whole thing, the duration. I'm not sure if I'm going to be leaving like Sunday evening, like after the show's done, or if I'm going to stay until Monday. It's going to kind of depend on picking my youngest up from school. If we have, I've got rides set up for Thursday. I've got rides set up for Friday and for Monday morning. It's Monday afternoon. I'm not sure about. So, oh man, I love it. I love it when listeners and friends of the show, when their spouses also get in on this. Because Nikki, yes, you get the applause, Nikki. Effort is the key word on his comedy. Fair. So yeah, I'm excited. We're going to be going. I do want to say, do you remember last year? Oh man, I forget his fucking name. I'm gonna have to look this up. But last one of the dudes that was at the Columbus at the Oldfield show that we did the show recording there.
Yeah.
He's helping promote a local show that's going on Friday night. And it's a big stoner metal show.
Okay.
It's a weed eater show is what it is. And this is a local band that he's helping, to promote and everything. And I think that's kind of also in Josh's wheelhouse. So I think I might have to check off a list of going to see a metal show in Columbus just for the sake of doing it. I think it might be a good time. And I'll bet you that there's going to be a lot of folks, especially Friday night. He's got a flyer going around, and it's all he's calling it the unofficial Friday after party for the Columbus Fishing Expo. And for that, we thank you. I love this, dude. Jay Manning says Nikki with the fastball, and then Binya throws back to another good joke. I am the Wish version of Bobby Roast Beef after all. Fair enough. Oh, Donovan chimes in. He says Weed Eater is awesome. Yes, they are awesome. I think it'll be a great show. I think it'll be a whole lot of fun. So I'm really excited to see the Dark Horse guys again. I know Nick DeShane's going to be there. Jeff from Last Cast Fishing is going to be there. There's a bunch of other dudes that are going to be there.
Key.
Oh yeah, Dave Urquhart, by the way. And I should mention this week's FTG is from Dave Urquhart. And it's a whole other fucking beast. Like it really is. Yeah, it really is.
Okay.
I don't think we've had an FTG like this that was like so personal. You know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah, and it's short.
Usually he gives me the heads up, so this is a full surprise to me.
Yeah, this is something he might have talked about this before, because first thing I did, like after texting the Dark Horse Tackle group chat, was they're like, you got to call Dave and let him know. And I was like, absolutely. So I sent him a text. I was like, hey, I'm going to give you a call. Let me know when's good for you. He was like, I'll call you in an hour. He hits me up. We're talking back and forth, and he shared the story he's going to go over in this FTG, which it's very, very short, and it's terrible what happened to him. I feel really, really, really terrible about this whole situation. So I don't know. Maybe there's a way like the Jigs and Bigs crew can kind of like rally to show a little bit of support or something, but we'll see. We'll see what we can do. Okay. It's just freaking bananas, man. It's so wild. So I'm stoked that went down. The New England Fishing Expo was absolutely amazing. The show, like I said, I was there with Hanks Marine, and what I had done was I had taken a couple of the videos from YouTube that primarily like featured the boat, the ones that had like some really good like drone shots and stuff.
Sure.
They made a little bit of a playlist, and I took some materials. They had a Lund rep in the booth with them, and they had a Rebel XL in there, which is probably the most similar to my boat there. They had the Pro V Bass, the one that I was set up in. This is a 21-footer, absolute beauty of a boat. In fact, I did kind of vlog a bunch of stuff, but it was like I was so busy talking to people that I only have so much footage. So I might kind of tie some of that in with like one video, including the Columbus show and stuff like that, and figure something out. But it was a great show. But yeah, so I had those videos going, and I made a couple. I made one promoting the podcast. Have you checked out, Jigs and Bigs? And then I made one promoting the multi-species scavenger hunt. And I think the multi-species scavenger hunt video is just like unbelievable. It can't it's the best 59 seconds on ones and zeros. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yes, it is Gussie's boat. Michael Bradley says that's Gussie's boat. It is.
Yes, it is.
How many people pointed that out to me? I was like, the Canadian dudes love the Lund stuff. And I'm going to be honest, they kind of reimagined what a bass boat could be. Having an aluminum hull with that deep V. It just, you could be doing 70 miles an hour and put your feet up in the passenger seat and be like, whatever. You know,
That got a 2 or a 250 on the back. Because I know
that's got a 250. That one there has a 250. It's
usually
huge,
they
too.
only put 200s on them because
Yeah.
of like just because aluminums are so light.
Oh yeah,
Ooh,
they were like,
that
no,
thing must
we're going.
screw.
It flies.
I
I'm
know
sure.
Matt's a fast boat kind of guy, so
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. In fact, do you follow Bay Rippers on Instagram by chance?
Oh no, I was told to follow them.
should.
and
You
I couldn't
should.
remember.
You
Actually, I
think you
think a
like to
dude-
go fast?
Yeah, actually, is that a dude that like works with them or
Yeah,
something?
yep,
Okay,
yep.
he told me about
Yeah.
it. Okay,
Check it out. I highly recommend it,
I'm
man.
gonna follow it right now.
There is some video. I forget what the boat was, but there was like 4 outboards on there, and one of them wasn't working, and they were just still like faster than I'm comfortable going on the water. Way faster
Sheesh.
than I'm comfortable. And I mean, I've been in your boat, and I've been in a handful of boats. We've gotten some. I've filtered this beard with wind and water from the river. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it's just, man, it's absolutely bananas. What do we say? What do these guys have to say? Binya goes, Hanks was the booth right across from where I was working Friday. Kind of wish I had gone Saturday. Saturday was really good, man. Yeah, I saw the guys from FX Rods over there. Always good to see them. I'm telling you, like, I think the rods are great. I think their rod sleeves are the best thing on the goddamn market. Like, those rod sleeves with the built-in reel cover are the jam and
Those are
super
nice.
versatile. Yeah, I'm telling you, for the money, I don't think you can go wrong. I really don't. John Hagen's trying to. He goes, I always remember the old In Fisherman shows where they would say loud and proud, In Fisherman brought to you by Lund.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that entire organization is like fueled by Lund.
Yeah,
it is nuts. But again, Minnesota freaking brand on both sides.
right.
You know, it's like that's the way we go. Enthusiast Adventurer chimes in. I miss the Worm Bars. I went by the Worm Bar on my way out. I was like, that's pretty slick.
They had a pretty big one, if I remember right. It might have been might have been the other show I went to in Pennsylvania last year. They had a huge one.
The New England show had a booth that had like the perimeter of their booth. It was just a giant worm bar.
Yeah.
It was pretty slick. Oh, look who we have here. This is a first. Becca's in the house. She says, "What up, gang?"
Gang.
Yeah, currently editing. Sick of hearing my own voice right now. Fair enough. So why not listen to ours? Right? That's what I'm saying. Just listen to ours. I'm telling you though, it was crazy. It was a really great show. I saw so many listeners. It was so good. I'm not even going to name any of them because there were so many. I would be here for another hour going over. Like, I appreciate you guys, everybody, for coming over and saying hi, talking about some great stuff. They're excited about the scavenger hunt series, which is awesome. Talked about the open. Some of them were like, what? And I'm like, no, we're going. Like, we're trying to bring this to like that next level. And like, you can be part of it, man. It's what it's all about. I love it, man. It was so good. So yeah, it was really, really great. There is one thing that I do want to talk about. And Joe, you and I had a conversation as I was driving back from the show. I hadn't eaten at all that day. And afterwards, I was absolutely I was like a wild beast on the hunt. Yeah. And I don't know why I thought this would be a good idea, but I went to Raising Cane's. And I'm going to tell you, I've had some, I've had a variety. Look, just take one look at me and you know I've had a variety of fast food. When I go to a different area where there's something I don't have access to here, I'm going to give it a sample. I got to tell you, I don't know what the big deal is with Raising Cane's. Like, the first time I had it was actually after the show last year. And I was like, okay, this is what they do. I suppose that's fine. And maybe I was just a little bit critical, or maybe they've gotten a little bit more lazy with what's going on there. And everybody says the same thing, that Raising Cane's is all about the sauce. So I live in Holyoke. We have a lot of Puerto Rican food in Holyoke. There is a condiment, right, that you can get with lots of different stuff. You can get some with your pernil and, your all kinds of stuff. It's called mayo ketchup. Right. And what it is literally mayo and ketchup combined with some spices. Everybody's mayo ketchup is a little bit different. Raising Cane's sauce is the same thing with the additional spices are an afterthought. I'm saying unpopular opinion, but hey, it's an afterthought. That meal tasted like how did I word it to you, Joe? It tasted like Nebraska. And when they asked me for what I wanted to drink, I was like, well, of course I want a nice crisp Diet Coke, of course. And she's like, oh, we don't have any soda, so we have sweet tea, unsweetened iced tea, and lemonade. I was like, well, I guess I'm gonna have an unsweetened iced tea. And I was like, it tasted like eating like Nebraska with like washing it down with like Taipei. It was like the weakest tea I've ever had in my life. I was like, oh my God. Oh, so creative with the name. I like it. Oh, what? Bobby see food, Bobby eat food. Well, I mean, it's how we sustain ourselves. That's how it works. But I'm telling you, I'm like, I don't get it. I just don't get how they can make a cornerstone and then people flock to this place. Nebraska cold and tasteless. Yeah. You know? Yeah, really. I was like, I will say this. The quality of the chicken is up there. It's not like a frozen, like you're just like, what is it? Like it's actual chicken. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So like, I give them credit for that. But like, as far as like knowing how to season, and I get it that there's an audience for that. You know, certain folks that are about my age or slightly younger that have absolute zero for social skills. And they love that shit.
Yeah, dude. They love that plain, tasteless shit.
It's just, it's the actual food version of the way Alex Rudd explains what he thinks of Taylor Swift. She's a mayonnaise sandwich. You know, I'm a piece of shit. I'm sure I've pissed off so many people in the Midwest right now. Don't take it personal, folks. I shouldn't say that. I actually have no idea. Sending love to my Nebraskan friends. I should be doing the same thing and backing that up too. I say it. I'm cracking on Nebraska and I'm wearing a Free Milliken hat. What
That's
an
true.
absolute degenerate right there.
That's true.
Go 402. There is Mayo Sanji John Curtis.
Oh, the old Mayo.
My
Sandy.
God. So yeah, it has been a wild week into the weekend, and I'm looking forward big time to an amazing weekend over at the Columbus Fishing Expo.
Yep.
That expo, wow. There's a lot going on that week.
Yeah, it's insane.
It is. They pack a lot into 3 days.
Oh, they do. They do. And the names that are there are ridiculous. For the, just the pros, between the pros, the content creators. It's an insane show.
And the vendors are out of this world. Like
out of this world.
Yeah.
Out of this world.
There's over there. There's one booth I know I'm going to drop some money at.
Hold on. I was thinking it was either going to be the JDM one or that or remember the custom reel parts?
Oh my God. I'm considering some of that, man.
Yeah.
I carry all my fishing gear with me pretty much all the time.
So
I might see what they can do with
the JDM booth was our neighbor last year.
I know. I don't know if that's I'm curious. The Dark Horse booth is like 50% larger this time around.
Yeah.
And it's going to be interesting the way that we're going to be doing it, because we're going to be having a lot of podcasters, a lot of content creators coming in and utilizing some stuff. So I'm coming out like with all the gear. I'm bringing the Roadcaster. I'm bringing the bigger PA.
Yeah.
I'm bringing I'm setting up the table. And I was talking with Dave. I was like, what are you guys doing for like a backdrop or anything like that? Because we have the jigs and big stuff, but I'm like, I don't want to commandeer that. Like, I don't want people to feel like this is like a jigs and bigs thing.
Yeah.
And he was like, dude, we got nothing other than maybe there's going to be like a Dark Horse sticker that we can put on something. I'm like, well, then let's just throw that backdrop up, and then I'll put a screen up there, because we're going to use a screen and show a playlist of little promo reels for all these other shows. Because we've got Drew Gregory's going to stop in, I think, on Friday, and he's going to record some content right there from the booth. So that should be great. The Catch Boys, Brad and Matt, they're going to be there recording some stuff. Andrew Hayes from Tackle Talk is going to be there as well. I don't know if he's going to record any content or if he's just popping in or what the story is, but this could be really, really good. We will be there. Dave Urquie will be there with the whole angler, and I think it's just going to be really, really great. So I'm looking forward to it. Are you planning on bringing your camera, Joe?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna bring all of them. GoPros, the big camera. Yeah,
I'm gonna vlog the shit out of everything.
Yep,
I'm gonna see
same.
if I can throw a drone up from the parking lot and get some fucking cool shit that way.
Oh fuck yeah!
I don't have the stones to just fly it in there and go overhead. But
yes, you will, because I'll go get you like a few fucking beers or something. I'll be like, and then I'll be like, Bobby, you need to do it. And you'll be like, all right.
Like, how cool would that be, though? Let that sucker go up to get that aerial view, and then just a nice 360 turnaround to get that Eagles view.
That's it.
Man, that could be good. Like, it's going to be so good. It's going to be so fucking good.
Yep.
Let's talk about, there is something that's kind of crazy. And I don't know if you saw this morning, Joe, but Andrew Hayes from Tackle Talk had posted something on his Instagram story.
Okay.
That is fucked up.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, somebody hacked his Tackle Talk PayPal and spent like $3,000 on DoorDash.
Oh,
yeah.
No.
Fucked up. And he's like, I'm going to find out who you are. And I'm like, I hope the fuck you do, man. Because that is super, super shitty.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. That is terrible. I can't believe it. I was like, that is fucked. I was talking with him a little bit back and forth about it, but that is bullshit, man. That is awful. Yeah. And it fits right into like the FTG that we've got from Dave Urquie as well. Okay. Like, it's going to blow your minds. Actually, let's go ahead and throw a little bit of love at some friends. We love Tackle Talk around here. Tackle Talk is a great show. You guys know that. They do way bigger numbers than we're ever going to fucking do.
Oh, yeah.
But, Andrew puts together an amazing show that is jam-packed with value about gear, and we're just another beast. The fact that we get to share the same sort of airspace, something like that, or that, I'm amazed by. He recently recorded an episode of The Whole Angler with Dave Urquie. Give that a listen. It's fantastic. It's not the tearjerker that Dave has had on previously.
Sure.
But I'll tell you what, it gives you much more insight as to like how hard Andrew works on his product. Yeah. And he does great with it. He truly does. It's absolutely fantastic. Let's see what we got. Binya goes, I bet Raising Cane's chicken. Oh, I bet it was all Raising Cane's chicken too. John says, all right, Bobby, you don't have to be jealous anymore. I got cold and shit fast, and the Coyotes are showing their asses back here. Really? Okay. He says, got to use a 4-wheel drive on the Ram finally. Needed to use it to get out of that shithole. That happens. So I'm not so jealous anymore.
Fellow Ram guy.
I love it.
Yeah, man.
So what about you, Joe? What's your week been like?
Yeah, my week sucked. I mean, it was just work and all that bullshit. But to talk about this week, so we're hitting the road tomorrow night, dude.
Oh, really?
I'm heading back down to PA first.
You are doing that PA show. Oh, that's awesome.
So I'm going to the Great American Outdoor Show to hang out with Taylor from Fish or Die. So
that's cool.
I'll work his booth for a couple days. I'll probably like half a day Wednesday and then half a day Thursday, because it's like a five-hour ride from there over to Columbus. So Meg's coming with me. No kids this time, just her and I. And
oh, that's awesome, man.
Yeah. So we get to have a little fun,
Oh, that'll be great.
Yeah, she's pumped. We're super excited about it. Yeah, but I was bummed I didn't get to see the shows. I was bummed I didn't get to go to New England. The one booth I always hit that I'm a huge fan of, but I do have someone. I know what you're gonna say. Beast Coast.
Yep. It's the biggest booth I've ever seen from them too this year.
Was it?
It was huge.
So it's funny because Josh Codier had his hat a bunch of
Josh.
Yeah, so he has a bunch of shit for me, and I was like, dude, give it to like Bobby or like Matt Shogren, because I live like 10 minutes from Matt, so I gotta check with him, see if he actually gave it to him. But yeah, so that was the booth I was really hoping to see. But
Yeah, Josh came by and he was like, "Ah, man, how's things?" And he was like, "You know who I am, right?" I was like, "Yeah, dude, absolutely." I'm like, I'm just a little spaced out because dude, when I say my mouth didn't stop running, like I was just constantly talking to so many different people. I
Yeah.
think I might have sold that Pro V Bass. I might have sold it. There was a dude that I was talking to that was like, he was picking up what I was putting down, talking about some of the features and stuff. And then he was like, "What's the best price you can do for here?" I was like, "Well, look, man, retail value, you're looking at like 110, 112, rigged as is."
Yeah.
I go, "The show special is 84.9." I'm like, this is the guy you got to talk to if you want to do any better than that, if it's possible. I don't even know if it's possible.
Yeah.
I just run a fucking dick and fart joke podcast.
The thing's got 30 grand worth of electronics.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just, those Apexes are insane.
So the one on the console was on demo mode, and it was just cycling back through a bunch of different, and I'm like, it is the most amazing screen I think I've ever seen. I can't even believe it. I can't even believe it. Benny goes, Jigs and Bigs has a huge following at the New England show. A lot of people ask me where Bobby was on Friday. Yeah, Friday was wild.
Maybe we should just do it next year, Bobby. Do something. Figure something out.
Maybe. I don't know. Oh, I did speak with John about an upcoming event at his new shop. So hopefully we'll have some new stuff that we'll have, that you guys will be able to dive into and take a look at and kind of get all, I don't want to spill any beans or let anybody know anything I don't want to, drop the bag too early, but some good stuff. Oh, look at this. We have a friend from the North joining us. Frick, I needed this tonight. Work just went totally to shit. That sucks.
He was, did you get the, look at this, Bobby. Whiskey delivery.
Oh,
thanks,
dude,
babe.
That is awesome. I could never get my wife to do that.
He was, I was talking to Nick earlier. He was giving me the, all right, dude, I'm taking orders for snacks.
He texted me with that?
Yeah. I was like, so I asked, I was like, all right, dude. I was like, are you going to hit me with any of these tariffs if I have you like get me shit? He's like, but I sent that to Josh and Zach the other day. I was like, I was like, every time like we do something, let's tell Nick that he's got to pay 25% more because of the tariffs.
God. Oh my God. Dude, that's fucked. That is fucked.
But yeah, dude, dude, I am so pumped about this week. So pumped. I'm definitely looking forward to that JDM booth. But you know what one I'm probably looking forward to the most?
Big Joshy.
Big
Fucking A.
Joshy.
Yep. I am a believer in the Big Joshy swim baits. Yeah. They do.
Aside from
things.
Dark Horse, obviously.
Oh, clearly.
Aside from Dark Horse, obviously.
Dude, a bitter swimmer is fantastic. There's so many good plastics that come through the Dark Horse method of.
Well, that's how I learned about Big Joshy was Dark Horse.
From Dark Horse, yeah, absolutely.
Now it's my kid's favorite plastic on the planet. So if I don't come home with a bunch of them, he'll kill me.
Oh yeah. They're so good. They're just the selection of colors. The swimming action is just absolutely nuts. I do love the fact that they do send you. Each package has an oh shit jig head in there. Just in case.
Yep.
It's not a great jig head. You know what I'm saying?
No. It's total dog shit, but it's there in case you need it.
If you
I used it. I used it.
Yeah.
I bent the shit out of the hook on the one time I did because I was running it on the rocks, but yeah,
that'll do it.
Yep,
that'll definitely do it.
But dude, I'm Wheeler's gonna be there. I'm hoping to have a conversation with him. But I'm a little bitch and like I'm a super introverted, so who knows? But I want to talk to him about the Icon.
We're gonna convince Wheeler to go to the Weed Eater show with us.
Oh my God.
And then we'll just the right recipe he'll just open up. We're gonna get
every single one of his waypoints.
Yeah.
Every one. That's the way we're gonna do it.
Oh man, that'd be smart. So it's funny. Stuff. I was actually watching a video of his and talking to Taylor probably like two weeks ago because we're heading down to the West Point Lake and down in Georgia for that tournament.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm watching his video like pre-fishing, dude. He was struggling like I'm like, oh, dude, that water's like chocolate milk, man.
Yeah.
It's like chocolate. It literally looks like chocolate milk. But
when is that tournament? When are you guys heading down for that?
it's the end of April into May. So I'll be down there like from the 27th, probably like 26th or 27th of April to like the 2nd or 3rd of May.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
So yeah, I'll be there for like a week. So
that's awesome.
Unfortunately, Taylor can't really pre-fish with me, so I'm going to be doing the pre-fishing. Then he's going to fly in with all of his shit, with his rods and everything.
That's wild, dude.
And then I'm going to he's going to ride back with me, and I'm going to drop him off in PA on the way back.
No shit. Well, that's, you know what? That's funny. You mentioned that. That sounds a lot like the wild journey back and forth that Drew Gregory's got going on with going to Florida for the first Kayak Adventure Series event.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was we talk about it a little bit in the interview. You guys are gonna love this. Check it out. Like, Drew is a wealth of information and knowledge when it comes to tournaments. Not only like performing well in tournaments, but like how the mechanism works, the rules, everything else. Like, he gets it. That's his background, is like sports, like gaming. Like that's what he does. You know. And like when I found out that, and then I was like, oh shit. And like seeing the event at the Susky last year, like there's two events that I'm really looking forward to. There's actually two of them that are in Pennsylvania. One of them is right near Zek. I think it's near like Allegheny. And then another one is the Susky, and I think the Allegheny one, if I'm not mistaken, is September 12th and 13th. And guess what September 12th is?
Your boy's birthday.
So I could go and just make it a weekend to bust the kayak out. Like I've already ordered a replacement rudder for my kayak.
Holly gonna be good with that on your birthday?
I think she will be. I think she will. Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
she's
dude,
she's letting you go on Easter.
She's let me, number one, she's letting me go on Easter. And we're not going to talk about the reasons why, but when it comes to fishing,
I do what I want.
You know what I mean? You know, there's very little argument there. I'm a very lucky guy in that sense.
Same here, man. Same here.
Yeah, I really, really like. It's nice if I want to. And I said to her when I got back from that camping trip with Janelle, I was like, dude, I appreciate you letting me go and fucking camp in my truck. Fucking Pinelands in Jersey. You know, shit like that. I'm like, I really do. Granted, like it would have been nice if we would have gotten on the water. That would have been nice, but hey, it is what it is. And,
actually, you know what I did what was it? What? It was one of the nights after training. I just like dicked up my ice fishing shit, just in case.
Is that where that warm front came from?
Exactly, dude. You see, like I walked out today and I was like, holy shit, it's warm. Like I went out to snow blow and I was like, I did, and then it was like completely like melted. I was like, see.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We got Donovan John jumps on. He says, "New to your podcast. Is there info about your 2025 multi-species scavenger hunt?" Hell yeah, there definitely is. All the information is on Fishing Chaos. If you just go on Fishing Chaos under tournaments and search Jigs and Bigs, you'll find that. I have some information. I will shoot you a DM. Actually, send me a DM on Facebook right now, and I'll get you one after we wrap up recording the show. I'll link directly to that and the Open if you're interested in it. Benny goes, wives that let you camp in the truck are the best, especially the ones that site to store you an ice auger. Wow, holy shit! So
wait, gonna have to.
He probably broke his auger, needed a new one. And Nikki not only went out and got it for him, but delivered that shit.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. That's awesome.
Dude, Valentine's Day is coming up.
You better step it up.
That's all I'm saying. That is some shit. Janelle, because that's who he's ice fishing with. Enthusiast Adventure goes, didn't break it. Nice. That's awesome.
He couldn't
work it right. Oh, wow. That's what she said.
Dude, so funny with I have one of the Ion ice augers, you know, the green ones that I acquired from OGO back in the day.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I've used it once, but
yeah,
we were like going through the garage one day, and there was like this weird charger, and she's like, Meg's like, what is this? I was like, I don't fucking know. She's like, should we just throw it away? I was like, probably. Like, I don't know what that is. So I was
don't
like,
tell me it was for that.
I was like, you know what? just hang off. Just hold on to it just in case. Thank God
Yeah.
I did. It is for the Ion.
It is for the
So I've
auger.
never had to
Damn.
charge it, so I didn't even
Yeah.
know what the charger looked like.
Holy shit. Those are pretty sweet setups.
They
They-
are.
they really
sick.
are.
Yeah, they're nice. They're way overpriced. Way overpriced.
Yeah, oh, for sure,
Yeah.
for sure. Enthusiast Adventure chimes in, says she was a godsend, and then she goes, I hate when men have that problem. Wow.
Man, she's on a roll.
She is on a roll. The fucking whole wish comment. Wow. And you know, it's awesome because Enthusiast Adventurer is 100% in her bus right now watching this, probably
Yeah.
with her tiny little wood stove going, and actually she's got my buddy heater. My little propane heater in
Yeah,
there
yeah,
as,
yeah.
as a backup. And Becca just dropped a video where she was out camping, and it was like in the negatives and Fahrenheit, not negative, like, you know,
Sure.
Celsius stuff, but she was negative Fahrenheit, and her buddy heater just wasn't doing it. So she went to Tractor Supply and she bought like the big dog,
Yeah.
like the
yeah.
18,000 BTU. And I was actually looking at that sucker that night. Oh, it's and it's working. I'm glad. That's awesome. In a Walmart parking lot, no less. Vinny says. Of course.
You know what Janelle needs to do?
What's that?
She'll never do it, and it's probably
No.
the most unsafe thing on the planet. But I
Oh,
saw
definitely.
I saw in like a video or something of, I think it was an old limousine, right? Not even like, it wasn't even that old, but they turned it into an ice fishing rig, and they drilled the holes in the bottom.
I
they
think
just-
I've seen this.
They just drive, they make the holes, drive over it, and they're just sitting in this limo, dude. There's like all the lights and everything, and they're just like jigging. Like, it was awesome.
That's amazing.
They had
Because
one
you-
dude had a live scope going.
You have so much like distance too between where
yeah.
the tires are
Yeah.
that there's less pressure. Ooh.
Yep. And they had taken out all the seats and shit and kind of rigged it
Oh,
up
yeah.
their own way.
Oh, for sure.
It was cool as hell though.
That's fucking awesome. Get right out there, let it run, keep it
Yeah,
warm.
yeah, dude. Yep.
That's kind of badass, dude.
Yep.
Yeah, you know who's been ice fishing and who has been loving it?
Who's that?
Adam Blomeke. Like,
Oh,
and
no
he's been
shit.
killing it. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he's been absolutely killing it. She goes, "Don't tempt me with a good time, Joe."
You won't do it. You
Nope.
won't do it.
Oh, she definitely won't do it. She's some campers, dudes were dragging on the ice today. Oh, I believe it. I believe it.
We're gonna talk about some ice stuff in the headlines.
Yeah, we are. Why don't we jump into that? Well, actually,
Yeah.
before we do that, just want to mention one more time, we do have some folks that are watching us on either Facebook or they're watching on YouTube, because this live show recording is public. It's not normally like this, guys. We have a Patreon group that will regularly tune in to chime in and stuff. And if you want to be part of that, you can join us on Patreon. It's $5 a month. They'll get you on there, gets you full access. You're able to comment like this and actually be part of the show. Plus, we offer special deals and discounts with our show partners anytime that we're able to. Sometimes we have stuff come through that's just for the jig heads only. We go ahead and drop that in there as well. Basically, it's like if you're truly wanting to take your appreciation for jigs and bigs to that next level and help support us, you go on there. We'll try to do everything we can to chime in and put some stuff up. We have, Michael Bradley says, is there a term for a northern hillbilly? A northern hillbilly?
There's gotta be.
I mean, I would usually think like a shut-in or something.
Yeah.
You know? Oh, hold on. Binya nailed it. Binya, holy shit. He says, yeah, Canadian. Wow, dude. You were right there with it. That was awesome. So yeah, that's generally it. But we are doing an AMA in the second segment of the show. So if you've got a question for Joe or myself, anything whatsoever, you're looking for a fishing tip, you're looking for information about the podcast, anything like that, go ahead and leave your questions for us in the chat. We're gonna scroll through and grab those, and we'll talk about those in the next segment. But why don't we go ahead? We'll shift gears and we'll talk. We'll talk headlines. We'll see what this is all about.
Tis the season for ice fishing, everybody. Tis the season. So I have two ice fishing related stories. And it's funny.
Okay.
I actually forgot to mute my mic as I just like sniffed all the snots back up into my brain. So sorry for that, everybody. All right. First story here. This one's coming out of Vermont. Our friends up there in Vermont, the Green Mountain Boys, you know. So Wilmington police are investigating an explosion in an ice fishing shanty.
Binya.
That's what happened to the auger, dude.
That's
what
exactly
happened to the
it.
auger. So police are investigating an explosion that occurred on Harriman Reservoir and injured 3 people over the weekend. One
Damn.
adult and 2 children were hurt in the incident that occurred around 9:30 a.m. Saturday. It's definitely a tragic accident, Wilmington Police Chief Matt Morano said. We're still trying to nail down what actually caused it. Morano said preliminary investigation found that a vapor cloud explosion happened in an ice fishing shanty where the 3 victims received serious burn-related injuries. As of about 1:30 p.m. Monday, 2 of the victims were still hospitalized. The incident is still under investigation, and anyone with information is asked to call the Wilmington Police Department.
Gatorade me, bitch.
Members of the Vermont Fish and Wildlife Department and Vermont State Police Arson Unit are helping with the investigation. We're not sure what type of gas was involved at this point, Morano said. But the agency's in the with the agency investigation. But Morano said the victims were self-transported to the hospital. Then police went to the scene afterwards to investigate. They used snowmobiles, and police went to the site from a spot called The Fishing Point off Castle Hill Road. Speculation about different causes should be avoided until the incident is fully investigated. He plans to release more information once the investigation is complete.
That line when they said that they started the investigation at what was known as the fishing point is the most Vermont thing I've ever heard of.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Keeping it simple.
Got to keep it simple. That's crazy, dude. I mean, we had some
who knows?
comments that came in that were really good. Janelle chimes in. She goes, Breaking Bad Ice Fishing Edition. Michael Bradley says Meth Lab. And then Dave chimes in. He goes, due to methane gas under the ice, my home lake. Was that Dave? Really? That's crazy, man. I wonder. Wow, that
actually kind of blows my mind a little bit.
I'm a little
that
bit
is terrifying.
floored. Yeah, could you imagine that? And like, I don't know, like methane. I don't know if it's scentless when it's like pure methane. You know what I mean? Like propane is scentless. They add a scent to it. Fish farts. And then Dave chimes. He goes, "We just call it the point." Fair enough. That is the most Vermont thing I've ever heard of. That is nuts. I didn't think that fish farted. That is amazing. Yeah, because that's got to be super sketchy. Like you wouldn't necessarily smell. I bet you it's odorless.
So they're probably just trying to like start, their camp stove or something.
Yeah, I'll bet you that's what it was.
Don't fart in your holes when you're ice fishing.
You can literally cut a hole in the ice and light it on fire.
Holy shit.
What the fuck? Well, I mean, I guess it makes sense because the methane would go up to the ice and wouldn't be able to like just evaporate off, you know? Wow.
What,
I wonder if that
like trash underneath there or something? Like an old what the hell's causing that much methane?
I wonder if that makes the ice any less safe than normal, being that there's a pocket of air under it.
Sure.
That's wild. And then like when you fucking with the auger, it's just like probably plant decaying organic matter. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah. Okay.
That's crazy. Could you imagine seeing an ice shanty just going up like that? And I 100% so I 100% would think it's a meth lab. Nikki's saying, so not a meth lab, but a clam bake gone horribly wrong. Oh my God. And then Jay's chimes in and says, same as old landfills, they capture the gas and use it.
Yeah.
There. Oh man, I have an old friend of mine that used to point out this one spot in this landfill where they had a tower that was just burning off the methane that would come from the landfill. And she had a terrible name for it that I won't repeat on the show because I'm not getting canceled. It was a terrible fucking name for it. But
Okay.
holy shit. I could only imagine. I mean, in decaying organic matter, that's got to be the situation in any kind of lake.
Yeah. But I mean, I go to my local lake. I can't set the water on fire, you know. So there's
That's
something
what I'm
going on
saying.
there.
Yeah, there's got to be more to
It's
it.
interesting.
God, I'm real interested.
Interesting. You want
All right,
another
so-
story?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's get another story in there.
All right, so I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna probably butcher the name of this town. It's
Fair enough.
Sebawang. Sebawang. Sebwaing. We're gonna go with Sebawang. So Sebawang man gets prison time in ice fishing spat. So this one
really?
comes from Michigan, by the way. So a Sebawang man has been sentenced to more than 2 years in prison for his role in a spat amongst ice fishermen on an ice-covered Saginaw Bay Canal in February of 2024 that left one man fighting to climb out of the freezing water.
Oh my
I'm-
God.
Yeah. On Monday morning, Huron County 52nd Circuit Court Judge Gerald M. Prill sentenced Tanner Cody Carr, 38, to 29 months to 10 years in prison, with credit for 1 day served. In each of 3 counts of assault with intent to do great bodily harm, less than murder. Carr was also sentenced to time in jail with credit for 1 day served as for misdemeanors stemming from the incident, including reckless operation of a vessel and felonious operation of a vessel. Prill also ordered Carr to pay restitution in an amount to be determined and prohibited him from operating a motorized vessel for 10 years. I'm wondering why this is supposed to be ice fishing, but they're talking about this vessel. On December 4th, Huron County found him guilty on all counts following a 2-day trial in circuit court. Before deliberation, which lasted more than 2 hours, Prill issued a directed verdict of charge of obstructing or interfering with sports, blah blah blah. Assault with intent to do great bodily harm, less than murder, is punishable by up to 10 years. According to a press release from the Huron County Sheriff's Office, 3 Sebawang men were fishing on an ice-covered Saginaw Bay Canal off the end of Killawaw Road in Sebawang Township around 10 a.m. on February 23rd when Carr and a passenger approached them in an airboat and stopped. Carr known to be the 3 men began to argue with them, likely triggered by an old unsettled dispute. The airboat, which had broken the ice around it when it initially approached the trio, departed. Carr then turned around the 3 men before leaving, breaking the ice and circling the men, the press release stated. Okay, so he was in an airboat.
Yeah.
These dudes were ice fishing. He intentionally went and broke the ice, essentially.
Yep.
2 of the men managed to get to safety before the ice had completely broken, but the third quickly fell into the water, which the man in the water estimated was about 8 feet deep. The man said he fought to stay afloat, weighed down by his heavy clothing, and told deputies he never touched the bottom. Hansen said in the press release, the man's 2 companions eventually were able to pull him out of the water and get him to a safer patch of ice. When deputies arrived, the man did not request medical attention, and they attempted to contact the airboat operator at his home, but were unsuccessful. So this dude these guys were ice fishers, sounds like on fairly thin ice, and this dude came over an airboat and intentionally broke the ice to cause them to go in the water.
Over what sounds like was a fight in the Facebook comments.
Seriously.
That's what it like.
Seriously.
Come on, you idiots. Wow, this is fucking crazy. So we'll work backwards here in these comments. Jay Manning goes, I'm pretty sure the airboat has to yield to ice fishermen if you look it up. It makes perfect sense. Binion chimes in with, I think could be the comment of the century.
I'll never let go, Jack.
Jay says, looking for gators. And then Todd with this one right here. Todd says, walleye fisherman, LOL. That's accurate. That is nuts, dude.
Crazy, dude.
Like,
Crazy.
It amazes me. You know, I had an opportunity, reminds me this weekend, to talk with one of our own Massachusetts environmental police officers.
Okay.
And man, we were talking. I said to him straight up, I was like, I would fucking love to have some of you guys on the show, even just call in stories, leave the names and stuff out of it, because you've seen some shit.
Yeah.
And like, he got me on the tirade about like, oh, I can't wait till they make it mandatory for all small craft like kayaks and canoes. You have to wear a PFD for. It's like, oh my God, I just can't wait for that. He's like, it's ridiculous. Some of the shit that he has seen and some of his colleagues have seen is just absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Frightening shit.
Yeah, I can only imagine. I mean, they did pass that. You and I got to go get a boating
our boating
certificate.
license. Yep, absolutely. I think it's by 26.
Yeah, I think
You need
October
them.
of 26 we have to have it by.
Yeah, which is
So I'll
I mean,
probably
that's
wait till
fine, but-
September 20th of 2026 to get it.
Yep,
'cause that's
there
just
you
how
go.
that's how I do things.
Yeah, nice, and why rush? There's no rush.
Why rush? Why
Although
rush?
the good thing is, I did ask. I was like, so when you get it, how often do you have to renew it? He's like, nope, you get it, and you've got it.
Mhm.
I'm like, I love that right there.
Which I might actually do it here pretty quick. So I'm going to Key West in a few weeks. I don't know if I told you that. Did I tell you I'm going to Key West in a few weeks?
No.
Yeah, it's a
wait,
work.
you're
Yeah, it's a
going on
work
cruise,
trip.
right?
Yeah,
Oh.
no. That's in May. So I'm going work trip to Key West. I know, real
There you
tough,
go.
right? But I was thinking about renting a boat to maybe hit the tarpon on the flats, but you have to have the boating license. So
Yeah, in order to be able to do it, it might be worth it just to freaking go for it.
yeah,
I do.
yeah.
Before we get too much further, Dave Riley had thrown a comment in here regarding the first story,
Mhm.
and he goes, "I actually know the dad that got hurt in this fire. He was probably hitting the fish whistle,
Ah.
which makes all the sense in the world, and I can't fault him because I probably got it."
Yeah.
Nikki says, "You've got it, just like herpes." Yeah, I got the license. Flares up every once in a while, but I'm all right otherwise. That's fine. Man, that's brutal. Vidal's with us. Says, "What's going on, fellas?" Oh, we're just here on a Monday night creating some goodness right there. John Carter chimes in and he says, "Is there a boater's ed course?" Yes, there are. And I'm going to be doing some digging, and I'll be sharing some links on shows so that you'll be able to have them. I don't know what that means for like kayaks and canoes, if it's all boaters
Yeah.
or if it's just motorized boaters.
Mm.
I'm not 100% sure on the details, but hey, maybe we can get one of the EPOs on to kind of break it all down for us and
Sure.
explain like what it's all about. That would be amazing. From what I understand, there's a process to have this happen, but it sounds like the people involved with this process would be down for it. And I think that we're the ideal podcast to have on, being the fact that we're based in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
And our primary audience, the largest section of our audience, is here in Massachusetts. It's pretty crazy. Let's see. We got Binny Goes. It's an online course, but it gets a lot of big water and sailboat stuff. I've heard it's like an entire day thing. Like you have to block out an entire day. I heard the online course is not the one to do. That there's an in-person one that's a lot more streamlined, and you'll be out in like 4 to 6 hours versus an entire day online of having to go through everything with a huge group of people.
Right.
Vidal says, "Working in 80-degree weather, no more cold weather. I am not jealous at all." That's all I got to say. I'm not jealous of that at all. Vermont has one, required it for motorized boats, and New York just required it too. And then, Enthusiast Adventure says, "Mine was 5 hours, class and test, then pass or failed." You passed or failed? I don't understand what the hell you're talking about, Janelle. But yeah, I mean, once you get your license, once you pass the course and you've got your certificate, you're good. You don't have to do it again, which I think is fantastic. But yeah, that's freaking wild, dude. What a freaking wild ride.
Wild.
Let's go to we're gonna take a short break and continue on with our next segment. We have an FTG from the one and only Wolf of Walmart, Dave Urquhart. And then we've got we're gonna answer some of your questions. And then after that, we've got Drew Gregory. You folks that are enjoying this live stream of the Jigs and Bigs podcast, you won't get that interview. That interview is for the actual podcast that will drop really probably within an hour or so when we wrap this up here, because I got to edit and turn this around pretty quick. But we'll take a short break. Don't go too far. More Jigs and Bigs coming up right after this. There we go. Beautiful. She got the boat license, so she uses her magic school bus on the water. All right. Fair enough, Miss Frizzle. All right, that's good there. We got the FTG. Let me go ahead and set that up. The Dave Key FTG. That Gatorade me bitch, that was from Breaking Bad.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
All right, cool. Let's go ahead and actually, you know what? Let me go through these comments and see if we have any that are questions that we should go through. All right, what's happening? Evening, fellas. Hey, Joe, the Pornhub called. They want their mustache back. We got to talk about that. There's Mackenzie there. There's another one. I'm new here and I want to know more information about Jigs and Bigs. Mackenzie, thank you. That is perfect. Let's see what we got. Look up. Let's see. Jigs and Bigs is a huge following. All right. I think that's it. Is there a boater's course? That's not a question. Yeah, there's only that one. Okay. That works for me.
All right.
Sweet. All right, cool. We'll go ahead. We'll do that FTG. If anybody else has any questions, go ahead and put them in now, and I'll scroll down to the bottom, and we'll grab those. All right, we are rolling in 3, 2.
Two-parter. Bobby, Joe, Dave Erkey. I am super excited I get to see you both here in like a week, dude. We're going to have such a good time. I can't wait to get out there and, have fun in Columbus, Ohio. It's going to be a snowy blast, dude. So I'm excited to see you guys. Just saying that. And here's the two-parter. Fuck that guy. Fuck the two dudes that took all the tools out of the bed of my truck and damn near cost my family my livelihood. Fuck those guys. I fucking hate thieves. Okay. Have a good day.
I love Dave.
I do too.
I love that guy. He is the most genuine human being with the best heart of anybody I've ever met. He's in that elite circle. And when I was talking to him about the plans for the Columbus Expo, the plans for the booth and everything, after I had to back out of it, Dave was like, he stepped up and was like, I'll put this together. We're going to organize it. And it was shortly after all that this had happened. And I didn't even realize it. So he told me about it. I was like, dude, that's fucking terrible. He's like, so I am more than delighted that like you're going to be here for the show, because that takes a ton of weight off my plate, as far as like being able to coordinate some stuff and make it all work. So I'm glad to do it. But Dave, I would love to see if we can, figure out how to help with this situation, because it sucks. Thieves are terrible, whether it's fishing gear or it's your livelihood. Especially it's worse if it's your livelihood, man. Yep. Somebody breaks into your vehicle, dude. It is fucking terrible. And it happens all the time. It's like my father has before he's been working jobs and he's had equipment disappear, and he's like, what the fuck? And it blows. It absolutely blows. And we talked about it. I was like, you got to be shitting me. So I'm going to share a story here. I asked him, I was like, your homeowner's insurance didn't fucking cover any of that? And from the way it sounds, it didn't, because it was a pickup truck and everything was in the bed. And that was their out. They're like, well, it was just out and available. Like, it's not like it was locked up anywhere. And I had a guy that I was in a band with years ago. We were playing a show in Springfield, Mass, in a sketch area. Yeah. And Springfield, Mass is most of the city.
Yeah, most of it.
But we're in this one area, and he had just gone out and bought like 2 brand new vintage guitars. One of them was an SG. I want to say the other one was a Fender Telecaster, and beautiful guitars. He spent somewhere in the window of like $3,000 or $3,500 for these guitars. And, nicest guy in the world walks up and he shuts his door. He's still got the guitars in there. He's bringing up other gear. Third floor walk up, this club is. We're walking all this gear up, but he goes back downstairs. These 2 guitars are missing. His homeowner's insurance for his condo covered it. But they were in the car. You know what I mean? They were inside. So I don't know if that made a difference, but it sucks. So I don't know. We're gonna have to get creative and see what we can do to kind of help out Dave Urquhart. Maybe we'll take a little bit of take a little bit of an offering or something like that, because that's bullshit. That sucks balls. And I hope these guys get what's fucking ultimately coming to them.
Yep.
I am a firm believer in karma. You do terrible shit, and terrible shit has a way of finding its way back. Yep. And that's fucked. That is fucked. So yeah, fuck those guys. Fuck thieves. And we'll see if we can help out Dave with some tools potentially. If there's any way that we can possibly help out, who knows? He might have already replaced everything. It's been like, I am good, but we'll see what we can do.
Yep.
Or if you see anybody who's out there that's got some brand new gear on a job site, and ask them if they've heard of the Wolf of Walmart, and if they're like, oh shit, I know that guy, knock the teeth out. Whatever it takes. It's just a nation of people just beating on other freaking laborers. Just fucking terrible. So I don't have a fancy open for this, but we're going to do a little AMA. And I think that so far, we only have one question that's come in through, because if that's one thing that Jigs and Bigs listeners know how to do, it's deliver. They deliver. So we have
a couple more have come through.
A couple more have come through. All right. So I'm guessing there might be a couple more there at the bottom. It could be interesting. Some of those could be trouble too, I have a feeling. But Mackenzie Kiefer chimes in, says, I'm new here and I just want to know more about Jigs and Bigs. So let's talk about Jigs and Bigs. Mm-hmm. Jigs and Bigs is a fishing podcast that recently I started using the catchphrase with, that we are anything but typical. Do we talk about fishing tips and such? Yeah, absolutely we do. Actually, in this show, we don't talk about any direct fishing tips at all. But that's because a lot of other shit's been going on. What we aim to do at Jigs and Bigs is entertain the hell out of you. We want to make sure that if nothing else, you're laughing and having a good time while we're covering fishy and fishy adjacent topics. So that means you're going to hear some stuff about like great places to eat when you're traveling. You're going to hear about traveling, period. If you're going to a different place, we're trying to dare you or influence you to extend your journey further than ever before, because nobody's ever promised tomorrow. Go ahead and make the best of today that you can. And whether that's, chasing a brand new species, crossing off a list of bucket list lakes that you want to fish, or learning a new technique, go for it. Yes, that's our answer. Say yes. We do some interesting stuff here. One of the things that makes us so unique is the fact that we have the Jigs and Bigs online tournament series. This is a great way for myself and Joe to be able to engage with the listeners and the guests, because we've had some guests jump in as well in the past. And it's a great way for us to kind of feel like we're fishing right along with you. So things like the multi-species scavenger hunt, where the goal is to get you a little bit out of your element in 2 ways: in the fish that you're targeting, in the techniques that you might be using, but also quite literally geographically. So if you aren't anywhere near like brown trout, for say, and you have to drive 2 hours to go catch it, well, you got a whole month to figure out how you can go ahead and do that. I'm just using that as one example. By and large, the majority of the country will have no problem catching the vast majority of these species. So that's the scavenger hunt. The bass tournament, well, that all kind of started because we wanted folks to jump in and get competitive on the species that they really, really were most psyched about. Most of our followers and listeners are bass anglers. It's my favorite technique to fish. They're a great, great fish to be enjoyed, and they're fun. There's really nothing else to say there. But the slot limit tournament is designed because we know that those anglers that are based where we are up in the Northeast in New England, and that anglers further up north or different pockets of the country don't have as many giants swimming around in this water. So the slot limit tournament was designed by a previous co-host that was on the show, Sean the Fisherman, has a ton of experience, both competitive fishing and just fishing in general. And he developed this and kind of passed the torch on to me when he left the show. So with the slot limit tournament is for you bass anglers that just want to take a day, and it's just catching as many as you can that fit in the slot limit. So the slot limit's like the great equalizer. 12 inches is the minimum, 17 inches the maximum. Catch as many as you can. The most inches will win. Do we have some requirements for our online tournaments? Yep, we do. The main one being the fact that you need to use an approved board. The catch boards are the primary ones that we push as the approved board. Go and check them out. There, we don't have a stake in the game at all. It's just that by and large, the online tournament world acknowledges this as being the standard as far as being easiest to read. There's less maintenance. You don't have to mark things off with a marker or anything. And these boards do not bend. So the rigidity is what gives everybody sort of an equal playing field to work with. And you can get into one as cheap as like $30. And that's actually the one that we often recommend is the 26-inch catch carbonite board. It's light, it's small, it'll do the job, and it's affordable. So that's the tournament series. That's really what sets us apart from a lot of other podcasts. We do have merch available. A lot of people ask about shirts and hats and stickers and all kinds of stuff, and that's all available at jigsandbigs.com. Just click on the store tab, and you can go ahead and order yourself some fantastic stuff. So that is Jigs and Bigs. Oh, by the way, I should say, Jigs and Bigs for the majority is an audio podcast. There are over almost 250 episodes actually available for you to listen to on every single major podcast platform that's out there. So if you're a Spotify listener, you can listen there. You Apple Podcast, a bunch of the other ones that are out there, and on YouTube as well. Meaning that what YouTube does is it takes our feed and puts the artwork, which is unique to every single show, takes that artwork and displays it on screen, and you can listen to the show right there. Our patrons over on our Patreon, they're able to check out the show as it's being made, like you're doing right now. Every single episode, we do a private YouTube feed too, where our patrons are able to jump on and be a part of the show, and we love them for that. Let's go ahead. I'm going to scroll down to the bottom and see what we have here for new questions. Oh, let's see what we go. Do good, be good, blah, 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 blah. Wow, you guys freaking put some stuff in here. Okay. Jay Manning says, love the stash. I love the stash too, by the way. I don't think it should. So did you say there was a story there, Joe?
Yeah, so the whole reason I'm doing this, Nick will get a kick out of this. You'll definitely get a kick out of this. So Dave's not here.
Nice.
Remember how awesome Dave's stash was?
Oh, yeah.
So I just want our stashes to touch. That's the only reason. That's the only reason I'm doing this. I want at some point during Columbus, him and I's stashes are gonna touch.
Oh, okay.
No, I just want to grow it to be like him. I want he had such a good one. I'm like, oh man, I want to.
It is like, and it's a good one. It's even worked its way into the logo of the Whole Angler.
Yeah, it has.
You know what I mean? And by the way, Dave has stickers for the Whole Angler. And I'm there. I want to get two of them. I want to put one on either side window of the 4Runner.
Hell yeah.
To display proudly. 100%. Let's see. John Carter says, my question is, how do you guys set up your fish log / journals? Okay. Mine is a shit show. I often will use this part of the reason why I like the scavenger hunt tournaments is because it forces me to take note of all of these fish. I pay attention to the numbers that I catch, and believe it or not, I measure them all just to kind of give me an idea. The database has just giant chunks of information that need to be dropped in. And it's usually the giant chunks are when I'm not in the scavenger hunt tournament. So those fringe months of like November, December, those are kind of a mess. Luckily, I only get out so much to be able to do that. So my journal, for the most part, is just an absolute shit show. And yeah, that's full disclosure. It is what it is. Joe, how about you?
So I'll be honest. I'm not the type that like logs every single fish I catch. I don't
Yeah.
do that. What I do is, so I have a setup on my iPad. I have notes in there, and I basically, after each, if I have an outing to where I obviously found some kind of pattern or some kind of place where, you know, the fish were versus where
Yep.
they weren't, then I'll notate that. I'll notate the date, time, and everything, or the date, the water temp, the conditions and stuff. And if it was some kind of pattern where I did well, or if it was a pattern where I did shitty,
Yeah.
I'll just kind of write a quick note, and I got a little notebook set up on my iPad. But I'm not recording like every fish I catch or anything like
Yeah.
that.
And actually, a perfect follow-up question. John says, what info do you guys think is imperative to record? And I think you nailed a couple of
Yeah.
those things right off
Yeah.
the bat, Joe. Conditions are huge,
Mhm.
so that you can kind of get an idea of like what was happening at the time.
Right.
So pay attention to your air temp, your cloud cover, your wind speeds, things like that all kind of come into play. The direction of the wind also is very helpful
Yes.
if you have an idea. And a lot of this stuff you can go back on your weather app and get this data to kind of dial in what it was like for that time. So that is really good. Pay attention to what lure you're using and get as much detail as you can.
Yep.
So if you're, throwing around a, quarter ounce, if you're throwing around a square bill, right? Don't just put it was on a square bill that was in such pattern. Put the size of that square bill, because that can come into play as well. And if you zoom out, you can see patterns there and sort of give yourself a little bit of a heads up. So that stuff's really, really important. I think that about really does it. Like conditions and the specifics of the bait, I think are really, really important.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah.
And sometimes you'll get on them and you're just catching them on one thing all day long.
Yep.
And it makes it super easy. Other times you're junk fishing and you're like, oh shit, we got to put this stuff up. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Binya says, do you think the Boondocks upgrades are worth it on the Titan? I might upgrade mine. So Binya, I'm not sure if you already have wheels on your Titan. You have the 10.5, which is slightly lighter than the native, the Titan that I'm using. That's 13.5. I think that the Boondocks landing gear work great. I will say be prepared to do some modifications because that's a big boat. Now, with that said, there might be some stuff on the market that's better suited for the Titan. You use a trailer. You might want to consider figuring out how to just back that trailer in, back that thing up, and then let that boat just slip off, tied off onto the trailer. Let it go, and do that. That might be an easier way than to lug it around all over the place. I will share the issue that I did have with the landing gear was that it would leaving them on the wheels and moving them around. It was never an ideal fit. So we would have situations where there would be screws would get loose because there was weird tension, and I had to basically modify them by drilling the collars like attached permanently at that size, which if you're never going to change your kayak isn't a problem. So I would take a look at what's on the market. I do think the landing gear are tough and they're really great. The wheels that are on there are, and I will say this too, also about Boondocks, an amazing company. Like I've had wheels that have fallen, like got loose and gone flying on the highway before, and they've replaced them super fast. They were great, and it makes it nice and easy. Let's see what else do we have here. Enthusiast adventurer says, Bobby, what were your thoughts on that John Zarate? Rate it 1 out of 10. I would say it was the only Panzerotti I've ever had in my life. I would have to say it came in pretty strong. I would say it was a good solid 8.5. Pretty fantastic. I will say I have to give their sauce a 10. I think their sauce is a solid 10. 100%. I'd love to try one again hot. I think that might have been the difference there. And then she says, who do we think is going to win the Super Bowl?
I couldn't give a shit, Janelle.
Remember we used that term mayonnaise sandwich before? What about you, Joe? Joe, are you not quite the sports guy, right?
No, I am.
More
I
of
am.
a sports guy than I am, for
yeah,
sure.
I'm a pretty big sports guy. I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
I not as much as I used to, just because the kids and everything, and I don't have the time. But football is my sport that I follow
all right.
consistently. I played growing up, but all right, Janelle, this one's gonna hurt you because I know you're a Philly fan. So who do I want to win, and who do I think is gonna win? I want the Eagles to win because I can't stand Patrick Mahomes. I can't
Really?
stand Travis Kelce.
Oh,
he's
okay.
such a whiny little bitch, dude. And Travis Kelce is just like they try to compare him to Gronk, and they're not even comparable.
Not
the only
at all. Yeah.
The only reason why he's getting the attention right now is because of Taylor Swift. But who do I think's gonna win? If the calls continue to favor Kansas City like they have been, it's gonna be tough for the Eagles to beat them.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
I don't know what it is. It just does seem like that's the situation. I think that Taylor Swift is ultimately the winner of this Super Bowl, regardless.
Yeah.
I mean, we both know that last Super Bowl, she was a key point of the game, making things actually happen. I think that actually this year she's going to have a headset so that she can make calls about plays during the game. So, I mean, I'm just going to say Taylor Swift's going to win. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm going to say. Let's see what we got here. She says, buddy heater or one of those diesel heaters, which is better? Versatility and portability of the buddy heater or the diesel heater unit built in? So here's the thing about the diesel heaters. You don't have to build them in. In fact, you can get one of those little tire racks that go around one of your wheel and leave it outside with the gas running and just route that hose into the bus and run that heat. That heat is infinitely better. And I'm going to explain to you why. It is not a damp heat. When you use the buddy heater, and especially if you use it overnight and it's relatively close to, you're going to get a lot of condensation all over the place. And while that might not seem like a problem, you've got carpeting on the floor of your bus. That means mold. And if you wanted to dry clothing, that may have gotten wet, like while you're out on the ice or, just in general, if you want to dry like your rain gear out or something like that, that diesel heater is going to do the job infinitely better than a buddy heater will. Now, a buddy heater is great and it's super handy, but I do think if I had to make the choice between one or the other, it would be a diesel heater. And also a diesel heater, like people say built in, you don't have to build those in. Like, leave them outside for sure. I think you'll be happier that way. And you can still move it around wherever you've got to go. You just don't want it running inside with you. That's it. But it's designed with a hose. So that way you could, with the bus, you could create some kind of an intake window and just have it pump right in. It would be like a dryer vent. So I think the diesel is the way to go. I really do. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Oh, Dave Riley chimes in. He goes, the refs, but fly Eagles fly. Let's see. Real SD Aldor says, glad I made it in time. Nice. Glad you made it too. Michael Bradley says, I can't believe I'm saying this as a Giants fan, but I'm rooting for the Eagles. Like, how much do you hate Kansas City to have that emotion? You know what I mean? Well, that is crazy. Benny goes, you'll never catch more 17 1/4 inches than when you're doing this slot event. That's true. And then last comment we have here from good old St. Nick, South Detroit Fishing says, I'm here for the beard and mustache. Absolutely right. Our facial hair is pretty amazing, Joe.
Yeah.
It really is. Like, I saw Mo, my barber, last Thursday night, and I mean, like, I'm liking this length on me.
There you go.
I cut like 4 inches off. It was ridiculous.
Crazy.
It is nuts. It just freaking flies. What do we have? Oh my God, there's so much more. There's so much more. Let's see. What do we have? Okay, so Benny says, I see Janelle won't listen to the guy who's 10 feet away with a diesel heater, but I'll ask Mr. Beef. He says, mine is Sean the Fisherman Excel sheet. Yep. That's exactly what I'm using, but that's what's got the gaps. Let's see. John Higgins chimes in, says, I save all my pictures. When you look at the info of the pic, it'll save date, time, and location. That's also a great way to go ahead and do it. If I've ever been out fishing and if I've like neglected to enter something, I can go through those pics and get a reminder of the date and everything. And then, like I said, if you search back on that weather pattern that was happening in that day, you can get a rough idea of exactly what was going on, what the wind temps were, such and such. Real SDA Outdoor says, I do wind speed, direction, bait, and date, along with lures and a notes section. Nick says, can't wait for the Super Bowl. The Columbus Expo Center will be quiet. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's
I don't think it will be. I don't think it will be.
Yeah, I think was I there last Sunday or did we leave on Sunday?
So I left like halfway, which I have to do again because I got the kids have school and everything Monday, so I gotta leave like halfway Sunday. But
yep.
How
long does it take you? Yeah, how long does it take you to get there and back?
So
or to get back, more or less.
To get back, it's about 10.5.
Yeah, that's the thing. It took me about 10 hours too. And I'm like, that's going to depend on if I'm going to stay until Monday and leave first thing. Yeah. In order for me to do it, I mean, realistically, I have to leave at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
And I just have a feeling if I'm there too late on Sunday night, I'm probably going to sleep in on Monday. Right. So I'm going to talk with my daughter and see if she can work out, if she's able to help me out. But let's see. What's the plan for fishing this weekend? Any open water? No open water down here. No open water down here at all. Nothing.
I think he means down when we're in Columbus.
Oh, in Columbus? I think everything's still frozen. Except maybe the rivers. Should I take the boat?
I wouldn't.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, that would be too much wasting that gas for nothing. You don't need to do that.
I know. There's a part of me that's like, well, fuck. You know what I mean? Sorry, weed eater.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, I don't know. Let's see what we got.
What's the weather supposed to be like while we're down there? I haven't even looked at that.
I know it's going to be a little bit of a mess of a mess. Let's see what we got. Vermont is ice, baby. You guys are just freaking yammering on and on. We don't have any more. So much for the AMA, but we have a couple of things that we got to answer, which is awesome. And I love that. We're going to go ahead and wrap this sucker up and kick to our next segment. Our next segment, of course, is where we got Drew Gregory in the house talking about Kayak Adventure Series. You're looking to, I got to tell you, I can say from firsthand experience, these aren't your typical, what do you call it? These are not your typical kayak fishing tournaments. Yes, there are some hardcore competitors that show up, but the level of camaraderie and fellowship and fun and everything is the whole other level. And check out some of this list. Like if you're looking to escape out of here, the first one kicks off in Ocala, Florida later this month. So if you're looking to, maybe get some sunshine and get a head start, that was a real smart move on Drew's part. So go ahead and go check that out, guys. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back on the other end of that interview to wrap things up here at Jigs and Bigs. Don't go too far. We'll see you guys after this. I can tell this is dehydrating me a little bit. I can tell right in my sinuses. I'm all dried up. Okay, I'm passing out. Too much fun the last 2 days. Janelle, rest up. We got fishing to do Thursday. All right, let's go ahead and do this. Roll for our final segment, folks. Appreciate you for sticking around. It's 8 o'clock. Beautiful. All right, we'll edit this, and then I'll get it posted online. We're rolling in 3, 2. All right. We're back, guys. Jigs and Bigs. It's Expo season, and we've got guests in the beef seat, so this is one of these, like, biggins as far as episodes go. Hope you guys are enjoying all of this stuff. We are getting really fired up about getting out there and doing some fishing soon. But if you're hearing this and you're thinking, hey, I'm going to be at the Columbus Fishing Expo myself, or you're in and around, if you're coming by the expo, make sure to come by the old Dark Horse Tackle booth. It's enormous this year. It is just, there's so much good stuff for you to pick up from brands that you've never heard about, but you want to know. Let's just be honest about that. So Dark Horse Tackle booth, we will be there. I'll be in there, in and out constantly the entire expo. But we're going to be recording, and we have to record a show. Joe, what do you think? Do you think that we should record the show there? Like just do it right there?
Yep.
Or should we do it at the house?
Ooh.
And I'm thinking if we do it at the house, we could set up a bunch of different mics and the recorder and like the whole deal, and just kind of play it by ear, and maybe involve some of the friends that are going to be there.
Yeah. Oh, we could do it. I think either way would be awesome.
The drinks will be flowing. I mean, there's so there's actually a couple of things that we could do. What we could do is we could record the bulk of the show, maybe segment 1 at the expo.
Sure.
And then, because, this episode will have the interview with Jacob from Omega Boat Step.
Yep.
He'll be on the show. So then segment 2, maybe what we'll do is we'll just use those wireless mics that I've been using from Hollyland and my laptop, and we'll just record a little segment with some folks from the show. We'll do like just the tip. We'll do FTGs.
That's a good idea.
I think that's a great idea, because especially after a few, it might be really entertaining.
Right.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, I think that's a real good idea. Michael Bradley chimes in with, I think, a last question for the AMA that we can wrap on. He goes, was there anything at the New England Expo that stood out to you? God, that's a tough question for me. I only say that that's a tough question because I was basically over at the Hanks booth, and that's pretty much it. I was hanging out at that booth primarily for the entire day that I was over there. I did run off to grab a couple of Diet Cokes and then once or twice to the men's room, but otherwise, like, I was pretty much in that Pro V the entire time. One of the things, there is actually one thing that did stick out to me, and Dan's not going to love that I'm talking about this, but it's genuinely like that show is full of amazing brands. The FX guys are there. Fishy AF is always there. All the swim bait companies that were there. Tom Swim Baits, they were there. Who else did I see over there? Beast Coast. There's a bunch of really great brands that are over there, but there was a jerky booth set up. and Bobby Roast Beef is really into fish jerky lately. Like, tuna jerky is out of this world.
Okay.
And I picked up 2, and I was in the mood for something a little bit spicy. I picked something up called wahoo, which is a Hawaiian fish. It's like a Hawaiian whitefish.
Yep.
It was out of this world.
Okay.
It was delicious. It was called wahoo. The other one that I picked up, it was, I believe, from the same company, and it was a salmon jerky, a spicy salmon jerky. Oh, my God. Like, I like salmon. I like trout. You know what I mean? Well, it was out of this fucking world.
Oh,
it was out of this world. So, yeah, I mean, if there was something that really stood out to me, like, I mean, we know the brands that are there every year. We see a lot of the same folks.
Yep.
And obviously, like, listeners and friends of the show, that's always good to see. But that did stand out to me for what it was worth.
Yep.
That's what the fat guy says. Unreal. Absolutely unreal. What a good show. You got anything you want to throw in here before we wrap up, Joe?
I don't have anything. Just, like Bobby already said, come say hi to us at in Columbus if you're there. I'm also going to be at the Great American Outdoor Expo in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, Wednesday and Thursday. Probably like most of the day Wednesday, probably half a day Thursday at the Fish or Die booth. So come say hi to me there. That's it.
Go pick up some Ajax and say hi to Joe Brown at the Fish or Die booth.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah.
Make your day. You'll be better off for it. Let's see what we got. Wrapping things up. Worst part about driving through Southeast Ohio is cell service. Been dropping in and out. Bubba and Junior need to hold the antenna right or they're not getting paid. And then Todd chimes in. He says, Achigan's releasing a new bait. I heard about that. I'm excited. And Achigan's going to be at the Columbus Expo, which is pretty cool. It'll be fun stuff. I'm looking forward to it, guys. Let's go ahead and wrap this sucker up. You guys are absolutely the most amazing listeners and friends that we could ever ask for. Again, I hope you enjoyed this little across-the-board live stream, show you how the sausage is made portion of the game. But we are available on every single podcast platform out there, plus on YouTube as well. Go ahead and give us a little bit of a listen to some of our previous episodes. And if you like the show, do us a solid. Give us a rating on Spotify or review us on Apple Podcasts. It helps a ton. It helps an absolute ton. Appreciate you guys on behalf of Who the Fuck is Joe Brown and myself, Bobby Roast Beef. Have yourselves a great one. And remember, like we always say,
tits and ass, smoke some grass.
Hell yeah.
that was hot. Oh,
I am
all right.
so hungry.
Yeah, I hear you, dude. I'm going to go and wrap this sucker up. You guys are the greatest. We're going to close out this live stream, and I'm going to start editing so I can drop all this polished goodness for you guys and that interview with Drew Gregory. You don't want to miss out. We'll see you.